Hi guys, how are you doing? So today we're gonna talk about Beenie Man. He is not that guy, but he is the guy. I'm Dr.D-Nice, serving you pop culture seasoned with wellness and wisdom. So Beenie Man, if you are not familiar with him, he is like the king of dancehall. And dancehall music is, you can kind of think of it as the rap to R&B in American type music. It's a Jamaican type music. It's not reggae, because when you think of reggae, you think of Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, long people with dreads and smoking a lot of weed. I'm not going to say Beenie Man doesn't smoke weed and dancehall artists don't smoke weed, but they tend to be like the people that talk like hip hop and rap music. That's kind of who they are. So that's the dancehall artist. And Beenie Man is the king of dancehall. He was huge in the 90s. I mean, oh, I come from Jamaica, foreign and tour. I mean, look, he was the bomb. I mean, a lot of people were whining and dropping it like it's hot and bogling and butterflying to all his music. He's just a bomb. And he recently had a Verzuz with Bunty Killer. Bunty Killer is another huge dancehall artist from the 90s, and they had like this huge rivalry back then. And it's even funny, well, I'll tell you about that in a second, but they had a huge rivalry. They're like frenemies. They clashed at Sting in 1993, and Sting is like a huge dancehall extravaganza that they would have in Jamaica every year. It's like a huge concert. They always have like the hottest DJs or dancehall artists up there, like going at it at each other, kind of like a rap battle, but like to the umpteenth degree. This is like people come from all over to see these guys go at it on the stage. There's a live band and gunshot, and that's just how they carry on. Lots of lighters in the air and fire shooting out. The public is going wild. That is the environment of Sting back in the 90s. It was a huge concert. Any and every type of DJ wanted to be there. Bunty Killer and Beenie Man catched up or came together first time on stage against each other in 1993, and after that they had various run-ins with each other. I don't think they hated each other. They didn't. I think it was just a friendly competition. But things got a little complicated though, because apparently Beenie Man, he actually married Bunty Killer's old girlfriend. They divorced subsequently, but I don't know. I didn't dig into all that because that's not what this video is all about. So fast forward here to 2020, quarantine. Two of the biggest dancehall artists from the 90s. They had crossover hit after crossover hit back then. Then I'm going to also share with you. So there's a lot of connection between dancehall and New York, because back then, New York in the 90s and 80s and stuff, New York was the center of hip hop. That's just where hip hop started. It was the center of it. And you have also a lot of West Indian, Jamaican immigrants that come to New York. I always say that you can't be a Jamaican immigrant without making the obligatory stops in New York or Miami. That's just is what it is. And I'm Jamaican, I can say that. And so because there was such a huge Jamaican population at the time in New York, and dancehall was hot and hip hop was hot, you can see how they would come together and just have a lot of crossover hits, a lot of hits, combination hits with dancehall artists and hip hop artists, dancehall artists and R&B artists, especially then. And so Beenie Man and Bunty Killer, they had a lot of collaborations with a lot of artists back then. So they were huge. Now I'm going to fast forward to Verzuz. Verzuz is an Instagram live concert that Swiss Beats and Timberland, which are producers, host on this Instagram channel. And they've had Erykah Badu and Jill Scott. They've had a few people come together, but Buntakilla and Beenie Man, that one was gonna be it. Look, every Jamaican, everybody that was young at that time, look, I pulled out my Jamaican t-shirt, I put it on my calendar, I was ready. I let it slew them. I was ready. That's not one of their songs, but it doesn't matter. I was ready. And it did not disappoint. That Saturday night, I was taken back to my teen years where I was ready, and I loved it. What happened though, midway through the show, they are actually doing this live together. They're not in separate areas like you would do an Instagram live, you know. One person is in their home, they pop up on the screen, another one pops up at the bottom. They're up and down or above each other on the screen. This wasn't this way. They actually came together in a studio, DJs in the back, family on the side, everybody up in the house, and they were doing their battle like back in the Sting times. Each DJ or Buntakilla, Beenie Man had a mic, and they were ready to go at it with their greatest hits. In comes the police. Can't have Jamaica, no, you know what. In comes the police. All this is happening off screen. So Beenie Man, he turns around and he starts talking to them, and he says, do you want to be that guy? Basically telling the cops, like, do you want to be the man to mash up this huge thing that half of the, look, every Jamaican, every West Indian person, everybody that was hip and hype in New York in the 90s that knew anything about hip hop or dancehall culture, everybody was tuning in. Over 800,000 people were tuned into this, because it's like Michael Jackson and Prince, if they had a concert together. That's kind of what this was, Beenie Man and Buntakilla. Beenie Man, anyway, the cops came in, and Beenie Man turned around and told him, do you want to be that guy? Do you want to be that guy to break up this huge thing where half the world is watching? Or what would it be, like 1/8, 1/16? A whole lot of people on the planet is watching this thing. And after the after this Verzuz was done and we all had a good time, there's a whole lot of memes that came out with Beenie Man and do you want to be that guy? There was t-shirts, there was memes. Beenie Man made a t-shirt. You can buy them online right now if you want to. Go to his website, his Instagram. He got them because that turned out to be the tagline. Out of all the excitement, all the wonderful things that happened during that concert, we sang the Jamaican national anthem, we sang One Love by Bob Marley. All of those wonderful things that came out of it, that one line stood out. Do you want to be that guy? And guess what? About 3 weeks after, barely 3 weeks after, Beenie Man comes out with a song, Do You Want to Be That Guy? And that's what we're going to talk about for a little bit today. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to talk about it. This was something to me that is kind of how dancehall reggae music is. When I was growing up, you knew what was going on in the world by the music. Yeah, these artists, they may put out songs that's telling you how to wind up on a girl, how to go out there and act a plumb fool. Yeah, some of the reggae dancehall music were telling you that. But they also were telling you all about the things that were going on in the world. You had artists that were dropping songs talking about winding up on a girl, and the next song they talked about injustice, they talked about oppression, they may talk about just the social things that were happening. Maybe somebody got killed, somebody got robbed. They'd have a whole song, and that song would still be a hit. We would be up in the club dancing to songs, winding up to songs that talked about social injustice. One of my favorite songs, I had no idea this was going on, was talking about songs in England. There's a huge Jamaican population in England too. They're talking about these pirate radio stations, these undercover radio stations. They kind of steal radio waves to broadcast broadcast reggae music so that people can hear it, because of course they were not playing it on the regular radio stations. So one of my favorite songs, them a call us pirate, them a call us illegal. That's what I'm saying. We were in the club dropping it to that song, but the whole song was just talking about the unfairness of not being able to have a radio station for your own music. So overall, reggae, dancehall, that's what I was kind of used to growing up, where your artists, they will make their own songs about just what we call frivolous things, but they'll also make songs about really deep things. The whole song would be about it. And I feel that right now, I don't know, to me it's just lacking in like hip hop. I'm going to bring it over to hip hop now, or popular music here in the States. Just the same way I saw Beenie Man transition this one line, do you want to be that guy? Transitioned it in like a few weeks into a whole song. I'm like wondering, how come some of these artists, some of these popular artists can't just turn around real quick and make a song about what's going on in the world? The racial injustices, the protesting. I don't just talk about it. Isn't that what music is for? I don't understand why there's not song after song after song out there talking about it, interspersed between our other songs. Yeah, you may get a line here, or you may get an artist that's not so popular. Their song may be trending somewhere deep in Twitter, or somewhere out there on SoundCloud, or just a certain set of people. But why don't having some of the bigger artists just step up and write a song about some of these things? It really, I think it would, I just know it will inspire people. That's what music is supposed to do. And I'm just looking at Beenie Man. I don't know nothing about the music industry. It seems like this incident happened one time, and then less than 3 weeks later, he has a song, it's recorded, it's out there in the interwebs for all to see. So apparently it doesn't take long. I don't know. Is it contracts? Is it record deals? Is that what's limiting it? I need for our popular artists to come out with a song. I'm not saying every song on the radio needs to be it, but I need something. Look, I commute to work, an hour-and-a-half commute, and I try to listen to popular music on the radio for maybe an hour. And you may be like, no, people don't listen to the radio, Dr.D-Nice. Look, whether you don't listen to it or not, the radio is an indication of what's popular or what's popping. That's just what it is. So you may not listen to it, but the music on the radio is telling us what's going on out there. And not one song talked about anything that was going on in the world right now. There's so much going on. There's corona, there's protesters, there's people getting shot in the street. And we have to go to the bowels of the interwebs. Not the bowels, that's not right. We have to go deep into Twitter, into SoundCloud, then iTunes, deep down in there, waiting for some indie person to put something. It needs to be the popular musicians to step up and make a song. At least every other song, I think, needs to have be saying something about what's going on. Maybe it's coming. I hope it's coming, because that's what music is. Music's supposed to tell us what's going on in the world, or maybe that's what it used to be. Maybe that's not how they do things anymore. I don't know. What y'all think? Am I just being hypersensitive? Do I need to get off the radio and go deep into the internet and satisfy that need that kind of way? I don't know. I mean, I grew up, like I said, just really seeing artists commit some of their songs to the social issues, and it just bothers me that music is not really doing that anymore. It's just all frills, and not really interjecting maybe a line here or there in the song, but not whole songs that really, you have Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, and them. I may actually do my video next week on J. Cole. But you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying. Come on now. Let's get some music that really talks about some of these issues right now. Beenie Man did it. He went in the studio, came and turned around his Do You Want to Be That Guy in a few weeks. We can get a song about Corona quarantine by some popular artist. We've been in this thing for 3 months now. Come on, do it for me. All right, let me know what y'all think in the comment section below, okay? Remember, I got you. Peace. I'm doing it again. Okay. I got you. Peace and love. Don't forget love. See you next week, guys. Bye-bye.